a joke, but why'd you sign the new deal?
I think it was really a no-brainer when I thought about it for what's best for my football. For me, the most important thing is to continue to play and get that exposure and experience from playing senior football. And I've been lucky enough to have that over the last couple of years. And for me, moving forward, I think the direction that the club's heading in with the players that we've got, the core of our squad is locked in for the next few years, as well as the coaching staff and the direction that the club's heading off the field as well. I think it's just all the stars have aligned for me and for my development as a footballer.
I imagine Adelaide weren't the only people interested in your signature coming up. How's that process dealing with other people calling and saying, hey, what are you doing next year?
It was a new experience for me, I suppose. It was something that I haven't been exposed to before. But I think as a footballer, it's something you want to be exposed to. You want to have those opportunities and, have to be the one in control in making the decision. But I think when I, put all of them side by side, it was really a no-brainer for me that the best place for me to continue my football at this stage is to stay in Adelaide and continue learning and developing. Because, I'm still making mistakes. I'm still learning each week. Still feel like I'm developing as a footballer. So long may that continue here.
Completely guessing, but I imagine a few of those offers may have been somewhere overseas. How tough is it for a young player to be like, I know I want to go there eventually, but maybe now's not the right time?
Yeah, it can be tough. I think when you see other players as well and potential players you're playing with or against make the move and go over and be really successful, it's easy to compare and go, that could be me and I could be making that step. But I believe in my ability and that that will happen in time. And for me, like I said, the biggest thing is to continue to play. I want to make that step when I believe I'm ready to go over and be a number one and really go over with a wealth of experience and knowledge from here in Australia. I still feel like I said, I'm making those mistakes and learning each week. And I think I've only played, I think it's just under 60 games. So I think I'm still relatively young in terms of experience. But yeah, no, I think that's definitely something I'm ambitious. I want to go over. I want to take my career to the highest level possible. And I hope that can happen in the future, but I believe right now developing here in Adelaide is key.
So the sort of number one factor there is whoever it was that maybe poached you over there, it wasn't really a clear you're our number one type thing, and that just wasn't quite right for you.
Yeah, I feel like I'll know when the right door opens. And I didn't feel it was quite right. So, I'm more than happy to stay here in Adelaide and continue to learn and develop.
The length of the deal, quite long. I'm sure that people will continue to come knocking, but I suppose a benefit of this is for the club as well. The fact that it's 3 years, they can get a transfer fee out of you if that comes. Is that something that weighs on your mind as a player? I want to help out those that have helped me.
I think it's just how football works, really. I don't think it's something that I think about too much, and it's not something for me to think about. That's for my agent in the club that they have those discussions. For me and for the club, I guess. However way it goes and swings in the next couple of years, I'm going to be here for, the minimum the next 3, or maximum the next 3 rather. And, if a transfer or something was to happen in the future, then, a fee is required. So, yeah, I think, all parties are happy. And at the end of the day, and whatever way it plays out, I think everyone will be pleased with the result.
So is it something where you feel like you're not ready yet, or the interest that was around you just wasn't quite right?
I think probably the interest just wasn't quite right. Like I said, I think I'll know when the right door opens and, it's the right move to make in my career. I'm not someone that wants to go too early and have to come back in a few years because I haven't been getting the game time that I want. I think at the age that I'm at now and with the, experience I've had in the last, sort of month with the Socceroos, game time for me is extremely important. And that's not something I'm going to give up lightly. I'm extremely grateful for the opportunities I have each week to play for the Reds and represent South Australia and you go out there and express myself. So, that's not something I take lightly. And, that's not something I want to lose because, I'm chasing a European move just to say that I'm playing in Europe.
Has the year been so far, I guess, for you, because the Socceroos called up, team's doing really well? Is it quite surreal
Yeah, it's been fantastic. I don't think at the start of the year I would have thought it would have gone this well. For myself personally, I think the team, we had full confidence in ourselves and the squad, especially over the last 2 seasons playing in 2 semi-finals. We know we have a squad that can be extremely competitive. I think we've shown that this year, and sort of being in that second spot now and hopefully trying to solidify that in the next 3 weeks. We've shown we can really beat anyone. No, it's been a very good year for the club and for the team, and for myself personally. There's no complaints from me at the start of the year. My goal was just to come in and start round one and play every game of the season. That was really my goal, to solidify the number 1 spot. Yeah, it's been an unbelievable year, but this is kind of the crunch time now, and we're really hoping that we can push on and do something special.
Just on your future and stuff, is that something you've discussed at all with, I guess, any of the senior players here, even in the Socceroos setup with Arnie or any of the other senior players there, around how maybe things look like for you in the next kind of 2 to 3 years?
I don't think, I haven't had those discussions, but I think that's really up to me, and up to how I'm playing. I don't think, that my future is all down to how I'm playing and how I'm performing. It's all easy to say all these really positive things about my future when performances are going well, and I've just had a recent cap. It's easy to talk about those things in a positive manner. But if performances were to go the other way, then all of a sudden no one really cares anymore. That's just how cutthroat football is. It all comes down to my performances. So for me, there's no real point in having those discussions, because my main focus is on trying to play as well as I can and trying to get to the highest level I can and be the best goalkeeper I can be. So if my focus is there, then hopefully the performances in turn can be at a high level. And then that's when, over the next couple of years, hopefully I can really, take a step and push myself into that squad and solidify myself there.
And Carl signed on, you're signed on, who knows, maybe there might be some others who sign on as well. But do you think you're building towards something as a team now that's going to be long-term, success long-term?
Hopefully. I think that's the main goal. That'll start with the silverware this year, and hopefully we can build, from a really strong year this year, and like I said, hopefully silverware into something that can, really be a competitive team and squad over the next 2 to 3 years. Like I said before, I think we've got the core group of the squad is all signed on for the next minimum 2 years. So it's we've got a really good group, a great balance of youth and experience. So no, it's a very special group, and that's why I've decided to stay.
And what's the changes, I guess, around the club off field of late? Did that factor in at all in your kind of negotiations with the club?
Yeah, I mean the changes it's only happened in the last week, so it is all very recent, and I think they're still trying to, settle in the club and get a feel of the staff and all the players and things that we have here, and figure out over the next coming months a plan of action to move forward. So yeah, it was a factor. I mean, over the last sort of 6 to 12 months, internally we've had a lot of discussions about the club and the off-field and the way we're moving forward. So no, it definitely was a factor, and it's something that, yeah, from the discussions that we've had, it's very positive, and it can only benefit us on the field.
And just last one on Western this week. What's I guess your thoughts going into that game? What are you expecting?
I'm expecting a tough game. The A-League's been so close this year, and it's fantastic to see. Every team has something to play for late in the season. It's so often in recent years that teams that are down the bottom of the table and have had maybe a tough year have sort of been left behind, and they get to these sort of last 3 or 4 games and there's nothing to play for. So it's so good to see that every team has something to play for this year, and they've been in good form, and now they can potentially play finals football. So they're going to come here, they're going to be attacking, but on their day we know when they get it right, they're also very hard to score against, and we saw that last year with how many clean sheets they kept. So they've pretty much got the same squad from last year. So on their day when they get it right, they're hard to beat. But we're at home, we're playing at Coopers in front of our fantastic fans, so we're hoping we can put a few past them.
Is it crazy? You sort of touched on it before. Is it crazy to you that you played 30 games sort of 6 months ago, and then you fast forward, and now you've got a Socceroos cap, you've got a new deal, you're the star of A-Leagues, all that access stuff. You've had cameras following you around. That's absurd. The rise, how quickly it's happened.
Yeah, it's not something you really reflect on too much. You don't really have time to. But I guess when you put it like that, it's, that's kind of like what I touched on earlier. That's just all really a bonus for performances at the end of the day. My day-to-day and my process of, working at my craft each week hasn't really changed too much. I'm still learning and developing that side as well, and how I'm training and how I'm trying to get better. But I guess all that other stuff, the all access and all those sorts of things, and the contract, that's all just a reward for performances at the end of the day. So like I said, if performances weren't there, then that sort of stuff doesn't come along with it. So yeah, it is kind of crazy. It's not something you particularly ask for. It just kind of comes with it, and it's I suppose a good thing, and I guess it shows that I'm heading in the right direction.
How did you rate your work on camera and on the mic?
Oh God, I don't mind talking, but yeah, trying to act and things like that on particular scenes, I suppose, is something different. I think my family found it hard as well. So no, it was a good insight, and no, it's great that through these all access episodes we're able to give the fans and the football community a bit of an insight to the players off the field, because they only see the characters on the field, and sometimes what you see on the field and off the field, they're far from the same person sometimes. So yeah, it's a good insight, and hopefully people enjoy it.
Last one for you. What is it about Adelaide United and goalkeepers? Even if you were to go away tomorrow, there's 4 blokes there which could all play at an A-League level tomorrow. What is it about Adelaide United and producing young keepers?
I'm not sure. There seems to be a question that gets asked a lot, but no, I think it's just the calibre of goalkeeper coaches we've probably had. Obviously Eugene working with myself and the other keepers over the last 3 seasons, 4 seasons because he was there the year before, but before that, Peter Blazinčić that worked, with Eugene when he was at the club. I know had an instrumental role on his development, and a lot of his coaching methods and techniques have then been passed on to Eugene and what he's passing on to us. So I think it's that, that strong goalkeeper, I guess, union you could call it, from starting with the goalkeeper coach and his coaching methods and techniques that have then been passed down to, the goalkeepers themselves. I think it's also, credit to the club and the type of people that they've signed, as goalkeepers, the type of people that we all really get along. And I truly believe that, if any one of us was to play, that the other 3 or 4 are there and fully supportive. So, that has been the case for me all year, that the boys behind me have been pushing me and supporting me fully and giving me that, that confidence to go out and just, play my game. So, if the roles were reversed and I had to, support someone else, I'd be giving them my 100% backing. So I think it's credit to, the coaches that helping us develop, but also to the club and signing the right type of people in the position.
So Delhi's not there just kicking himself, damn, another 3 years of Joe?
I don't know. Oh, he might be, but I don't know. And, he's fully supportive. Delhi's been unbelievable. He works extremely hard, and just as hard as any of us do. And just the position of goalkeeper, you can't sub one on and get a little 20-minute cameo at the end to show what you can do. So we all work extremely hard, and I've been lucky enough to be rewarded with the responsibility of playing on the weekend, and they're all there to fully support me and back me come game day. But during the week we're all fighting and pushing each other as hard as we can to be the best that we can.
Just last one on the all access. Do we get an insight into what the spray Carl seemed to give you?
I think there's a little glimpse of it, but I'm not sure if there's too much explanation behind it. But yeah, you definitely get to hear it, so I'll say that.